But I do feel bad for the farmers because they've been horribly treated, and I feel bad for those oil and gas workers. And
today that farmers are going back to London on the 11th of December, but this time with tractors. That's right, with tractors.
The difference is now I think the farmers really have a voice, and I hope the farmers here find the same voice that the farmers in the US found.
Eric Trump has sparked a major media storm after delivering a fierce speech in support of farmers, but the real impact of his message runs much deeper. In a revealing interview, he lays out the growing struggles farmers are facing across both the United States and the United Kingdom, highlighting pressures that many believe have been ignored for far too long. His passionate stand has caught critics and commentators off guard, triggering heated debate across political and media circles. What began as a strong defense of rural communities has quickly grown into a wider conversation, leaving many wondering whether a new and powerful voice for farmers is beginning to rise. If you found this insight valuable, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments to keep the discussion going.
In foreign lands and not actually invest in our own people. They're sick and tired of high taxes, and I hope the farmers here find the same voice that the farmers in the US found.
In the United States, you wouldn't normally expect the son of a billionaire real estate empire to step forward as a voice for rural communities, but Eric Trump is doing exactly that, speaking out with striking force about the struggles facing farmers in the United Kingdom and stirring serious attention across political circles. In a recent interview, he delivered a blunt assessment, describing an industry under intense pressure where farmers are weighed down by rising taxes and layers of regulation that make staying profitable increasingly difficult. He pointed directly to inheritance taxes, arguing that many long-standing family farms, rich in land but short on cash, are being pushed to sell to large corporations, weakening a farming tradition that has supported rural communities for generations. Drawing comparisons with American agriculture, he highlighted how heavy regulations often bury farmers in paperwork, while noting that earlier deregulation efforts under Donald Trump had offered some relief. In his view, farmers on both sides of the Atlantic are locked in a difficult struggle shaped by government policy, a bold claim that strongly echoes the frustration of rural communities who feel overlooked by urban-focused decision-making.
He felt your father would like a tariff-free agreement with the UK, you think?
Listen, I think my father generally likes free trade, censorship.
Yeah.
You're seeing some of the issues that the UK is running into. You see the war on farmers.
So what does Eric Trump believe is the answer to the growing agricultural crisis? His message to farmers is direct: find your voice and stand strong. Framing himself as an ally, he urges rural communities to push back against the mounting pressures facing the sector. His empathy was clear when he expressed support for farmers, describing them as resilient, hardworking, and deeply devoted to their communities, unsung contributors who feel worn down by a system that often overlooks them. Yet as his remarks echo through political debate, new questions arise. Is this sincere concern for agriculture in the United Kingdom, or part of a larger political message? As the conversation grows, one thing is certain: he has pushed the struggles of farmers firmly into the spotlight, and the agricultural community is paying attention. Expanding beyond farming, he has also raised concerns about what he sees as increasing pressure on open expression in the UK, sparking intense debate as supporters applaud his bluntness while critics question the intentions behind his remarks. Eric Trump has delivered a blunt warning about free speech policies in the United Kingdom, arguing the country could be moving toward a troubling direction with echoes of heavy government control. Pointing to cases where online posts have reportedly led to rapid arrests, he said situations like that create a climate where people may feel watched and afraid to speak openly, a comparison that quickly stirred debate in political circles. Supporters of current rules say they are necessary to curb harmful speech and protect vulnerable communities, but critics, including Trump, argue the policies risk going too far and may suppress legitimate discussion. Reports of rising arrests linked to online speech have intensified the national conversation, leaving many citizens questioning where the line should be drawn between protection and censorship. Reflecting values rooted in the United States and the principles behind the First Amendment to the United States Constitution, he emphasized that the freedom to speak openly is fundamental, warning that tighter restrictions could gradually reshape public debate and lead to growing self-censorship as people become increasingly cautious about expressing dissenting views online.
And so people like to hide behind the guise of the words free trade, but it's just the guise of cheap words. And we love the farmers. We love the farmers over here. I can say that unequivocally.
Eric Trump has widened his criticism beyond government policy to the media itself, arguing that major outlets are steadily losing influence. He claimed that mainstream media in his country no longer holds the same authority it once did, pushing audiences toward alternative platforms where they believe they can hear independent voices and less filtered perspectives. As debate continues around his remarks, a larger question remains: are his warnings a genuine alarm about society's drifting away from core freedoms, or do they simplify far more complex realities? Just when it seemed his critique of politics in the United Kingdom had reached its peak, he launched a particularly harsh attack on the Labour Party. His assessment was severe, portraying a movement he believes has lost direction, drawing comparisons to what he sees as the failures of liberal leadership in the United States. According to him, many voters are growing frustrated and simply want stability and practical leadership restored. His criticism focused especially on policies affecting farmers and businesses, arguing that rising taxes and heavy regulation are choking economic momentum and hurting the very communities political leaders claim to defend, an argument that sharply contrasts with Labour's image as a champion of working people and social fairness.
So, Fairness for Farmers have teamed up with Save British Farming and other farming platforms around and groups around the UK.
Eric Trump doesn't stop at criticizing current policies. He's also making bold predictions about the future of the Labour Party, and they aren't optimistic. He argues that if the party continues down its current path, it could face a serious drop in public support, particularly as more people in rural areas begin to feel the effects of policies they believe are harming farming communities and local economies. His warning raises bigger questions about the direction of politics in the United Kingdom. Could growing dissatisfaction lead to shifting loyalties, the rise of new political movements, or renewed strength for rival parties? Trump suggests that what's needed is nothing short of a major political reset, an idea that may resonate with voters who believe the current system is failing them, especially in agriculture and industries struggling with economic pressure. His argument goes beyond policy debates, touching on a broader feeling among many citizens that political leadership has become disconnected from everyday realities and the concerns of ordinary people.
By the way, I can say that I have a lot of industries over here who have been totally mistreated. The greatest oil and gas in the world is in Aberdeen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad what's happening over here, and it was really sad actually what was happening to farmers in the United States, and it seems like there's a lot of common.
Eric Trump's observations echo Labour's recent electoral struggles, highlighting difficulties the Labour Party has faced in maintaining support in traditional strongholds. As his statements reverberate through United Kingdom political discourse, they are poised to ignite intense debate. Supporters may see his words as a hard-hitting wake-up call and a stark assessment of Labour's shortcomings, while critics could dismiss them as the uninformed meddling of an outsider unfamiliar with the complexities of UK politics. The pressing question remains: are his critiques accurate, or do they oversimplify the situation? Are Eric Trump's warnings a realistic forecast of Labour's trajectory, or sensational rhetoric designed to capture attention? One thing is undeniable: his commentary has fueled an already heated discussion about the future of UK politics. From the struggles of farmers to debates over free speech, he has set the national conversation on fire. Eric Trump's fiercest rivalry, however, isn't with a party or a policy, it's with Sadiq Khan. This transatlantic clash dates back to Donald Trump's presidency, when Khan openly criticized policies like the travel ban on several Muslim-majority countries, sparking sharp rebuttals from Trump Sr. Now Eric has taken up the fight, launching scathing attacks on Khan's leadership, claiming the mayor has failed to curb rising crime and allowed parts of London to become no-go zones. He paints a stark picture of a city in decline, asserting that safety and prosperity have suffered under Khan's tenure. Khan, however, has pushed back, dismissing Eric's remarks as out of touch and relying on statistics to defend his record.
But I do feel bad for the farmers because they've been horribly treated, and I feel bad for those oil and gas workers. And the difference is now I think the farmers really have a voice, and I hope the farmers here find the same voice that the farmers in the US.
London has always been a magnet for US businesses aiming to conquer the European market, but escalating tensions between city leadership and high-profile American figures could start to shake that confidence. With the mayor locked in a public clash with influential US business families, investors may pause before committing to a city now painted as politically contentious. Eric Trump's latest critique strikes at the heart of Khan's vision, pushing for a return to London's traditional values and a tougher approach to crime, a message striking a chord with residents feeling sidelined by rapid change. As this high-stakes standoff plays out, the real question emerges: how will this feud ripple through daily life in London, impact ordinary citizens, and shape the broader US-UK relationship? Eric Trump's remarks have ripped open fissures in UK politics, exposing the frustrations of farmers, free speech champions, and voters fed up with the status quo. His critiques have thrown the political establishment off balance, forcing allies and opponents alike to rethink their positions, with the coming months set for intense debates over the issues he's spotlighted. How the UK government chooses to respond could reshape not only domestic policy, but also the trajectory of US-UK relations. One thing is undeniable: Trump's intervention has stirred Britain's political waters, and the reverberations will be felt for some time. Whether his criticisms spark real change or fade into the background, they've already ignited discussion and captured public attention.